Glorious day, you hear me? The same glorious day, this part two. This part two, I'm back out here. Different park though, you heard? Different park though. See this bar right here is crazy high. Matter of fact, you want to get it from this angle right here. So we're gonna go up to the high bar with that one. Then what we do is we're gonna follow up from the ground. We're gonna hit the push-ups off the ground.
All right, fellas.
All right, peace.
He's out, man.
Yeah.
Man. Take it easy.
All right.
Yo.
Mm-hmm.
You too, man.
Part two. I hope the okay, it looked like we good with the frequency. Cause I've noticed when I be over here, the frequency get a little, you know what I mean? But we're gonna demand that it go in our favor. You see? See, with this bar right here, it's crazy high. I'm not even sure how many feet it is, but it's crazy high. We're gonna go for that. See what I'm saying? So if you was in tune earlier, or if you wasn't, now is the time we back out here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we back out here. But of course, much gratitude. I see that like button being pressure applied to it. Indeed, I do. What's happening? Let's get it. Feeling heavier than I did earlier. Take your time. You see what I'm saying? Take my time with it. Yeah. You know? Let's go. We got money to get. More money to get. We're gonna run it up. Let's run it up. Yeah, part two, building muscle on top of muscle, you heard? We're gonna run it up again. This bar right here is super high. Love this bar right here. Crazy high. Look how high that bar is. You can't really tell. You can't really tell from your side of the lens. If you was out here, it's crazy high. Let's get it. Crawl. You already know, something like that. Something like that. Then we get to that ground, we hit our push-ups. We follow right up. Let's go, let's get it. You know, just a little something extra from early, you know what I mean? You know, just a little something from earlier. We're gonna build muscle on top of muscle. Part 2. Let's get it. I'm not even sure what my pull-up's gonna be like off of this bar right here. See what it do though. Let's go. So, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna stay focused on that high bar for now. I hit the straight bar earlier. I'm not gonna neglect this bar right here, the straight bar, but I wanna go for that high bar. So I'm gonna say, what I wanna do is, I wanna crawl across the bar. So I wanna focus on that. You know, I want you to see that. That's what I want you to see. Now, I ain't trained legs today. I ain't trained them today. Nah. I know you being funny, but nah, I ain't trained legs today. You heard? Much gratitude. I see that pressure being applied to that like button. Huss. But of course, building muscle on top of muscle, indeed we are. Let's get it. So, when we jump off the bar, right? When we jump off the bar, that's good for your shock absorbers. When you jump off a bar that high, when you let go, it's how you incorporate them shock absorbers with the workout. Somebody asks, aerobics good to incorporate in your workout? Builds your oxygen up, and burns more fat than sugar. That extra oxygen max out your muscle building. You said a lot. Aerobics is excellent. My form of aerobics is plyometrics. Let's get this money. In terms of burns more fat than sugar, that I'm not exactly I gotta see how that correlates. You know what I mean? But that extra oxygen can max out your muscle building. So the muscles need oxygen, right? But see, that's what we're talking about, endurance and stamina, right? So regardless of maxing out the extra oxygen max out, that's where you implement. So it's kind of like your engine, like running out of energy, sorta. You get to it. That's where you see what you got. Let's get it. Let's get it. Good question though. I like where your mind at. Not as intense, but you feel you working out. I don't know what you mean. But a steady pace for a couple of minutes. Aerobics is any workout where you can have a combo while working out. I'm having a conversation because I'm on the chat. You know, but I guess in between your sets, like anything else, you know what I mean? I mean, there ain't nothing wrong with having a combo, but make sure you're doing that work. You know, make sure that you're not neglecting that work, though. Don't get so lost in the conversation where you're not lost in the work. See what I'm trying to say? Don't do that. Let me crawl across that bar, like so. Let's go, let's get it. Then let's follow up, get them push-ups immediately. Immediately. Build muscle on top of muscle. Now I'm keeping it at 20. That's not the focus right now. The focus is following up, because when I go up top, first of all, it's my second workout anyway. Regardless, that was earlier. That passed. This bar's high, right? So I want to save a lot of energy for that. You know what I mean? Sometimes it ain't about just maxing out, going to failure every rep, especially depending on what you're doing, you know? But you can make up for those max out rep sets. You see what I'm saying? With plenty of sets. You see what I'm trying to say? So we build the muscle on top of muscle. We're gonna get back on that ball. Let me crawl across that ball. It's money. Then we follow, get our push-ups. Let's go. Yeah, so, yo, shout out to Tyrell. Yo, that's how you pronounce it, Tyrell? I see much gratitude. I see that pressure being applied to that like button. Yo, Tyrell, that's how you pronounce your name? All right. Yeah, Tyrell, I ain't with that either. I mean, again, I don't mind chopping it up, but with a person that's getting that money. Because in between the conversation, we got to encourage each other to get that money. You know what I'm saying? We got to encourage each other to get that money. You heard? Let me get up on this bar. Let's get it. Skywalker. Then we follow up, get them push-ups, y'all. Let's go, let's get it. So when we talking about that muscle on top of muscle, we also talking about getting that workout in twice a day. Huh? On that type of time. Indeed. I'm gonna go up to the parallel bar with this one. We follow up, hit them push-ups. As soon as we get off the bar, we hit them push-ups. We're doing a push and pull right now. Let me back this up a tad. Let me back this up. money, y'all. It's money. Hey, I've been walking like that for years. Yeah, I do walk like that. That's a fact. Hit that like button for my walk. Yeah. Caused me a lot of problems too. Imagine what dudes be thinking in real life. Imagine the ice grills and all that I be getting. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's a walk of confidence though too. You know, gotta be confident. You know, it ain't on no tough guy. You know what I mean? You know where tough guys end up, right? Pushing up daisies, you heard? Let's get this money. Huh? Watch me crawl across this bar. That was nice. You give respect, you get respect. Much gratitude. I see that pressure being applied to that like button. Welcome to 7 Fitness. You already know. Huss. Then we follow up with what? The push-ups, right? But of course. Yeah, so we hitting that back, hitting our chest. Just a nice push and pull, like I said. This part two, building muscle on top of muscle. And again, this is some extra from our earlier lives. You know? You know, give yourself a minute to regroup. You know, it's a lot of pulling that was done today. A lot of pulling and pushing, you know? Believe me, your body will be begging for more. So, it ain't no rush. But get to it. You know, be spot on, as I always talk about. You heard? Appreciate you. You already know, yeah, we training again. Part two, muscle on top of muscle. Let's get it. Let's go. And that's also it's good for your core. You know, when you scale across the bar like that, you know, and then hit your pull-ups. Because once you start scaling across, right, that in itself is already exerting energy. And then when you get to that point in the middle to where you actually rep out, you know what I mean? So that's a good example, demonstration of strength training with the mobility aspect combined. You see what I'm saying? Let's do that again. So I'm gonna repeat that same uh, exercise I just completed. I'm gonna do that again. Just asking for more. I know I need a lot of work. You know, everybody know that. You know, I'll be the first one to tell you I need a lot of work. You know, but the thing is, I'm out here working. See, it's so important that you take action. I can't emphasize that enough. Let's go. So let's do this work because I need more work. Let's get it. I know I'm in shape. That's a fact. I know I'm in shape. You got, ayo, you got a lot of people that think they a lot of, ayo, on social media in general. You know how many people do? Peace, fam. For sure.
Team being yourself.
Bless you, bro. For sure. Likewise. Yeah, look at it. Look at everything about me. Yes. I want you to. That's why I got my shirt off. Look at it. Look at the loose ends. Look at that. I got a little belly fat. All that. All that. It's about doing the work. I want my true supporters, the people who are genuinely here to know and understand how important it is to work on yourself. Because we are in a very judgmental world. We are in a very competitive world. We are amongst a lot of miserable, negative people. So it's very important that you know your self-worth, your value, even during those times in which you don't feel your 100% self. I strongly encourage that you embrace who you are, your unique self. So let's get this work, y'all, because I need a lot of work. Much gratitude. Thank you much for applying pressure to that like button. Because for those who take that initiative, I definitely recognize you as a real one. Let's go. Nah, I don't smoke. Nah, I don't smoke, not at all. He said, smokers don't be on YouTube doing this. And if they are, they getting... Let's hit these push-ups, y'all. Yeah, that was a nice 20 right there, y'all. That was a nice 20. I ain't Debo. I don't want to be Debo. You saw how they did you see how they portrayed Debo in that movie? Definitely don't want to be Debo. I like the movie Friday. But that's not the character you ever want to be. You saw how they depicted Debo in that movie? Did you see when Smokey jumped in the window to try to get his money back? And you seen what they found in Debo's? Come on, chill. Never that. I know. I gotta entertain a little bit. Yo, shout out to EQ. Let's get this money. That's enough of that. Let's go. Yo, I owe 3 on that one. I owe 3. Let's get it. Let's get it. Yo, EQZ 807. Appreciate you. I'm gonna fall back. You right. But you know, it's water repellent, you know? You know? So yeah, we just finished with our pull-ups. We're gonna get back on that pull-up bar, y'all. Whoa. Let's see, that's the energy I want. That's the energy I want. I want it all. But when I say I want it all, I don't particularly want the negative, you know what I mean? But I'm talking about more so the energy, that EQ. You see what I'm saying? And others. But anyway, let's get to the work, man, because before it get dark, all right, let's get back on the pull-up bar, y'all. Let's go. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start it from the other side. I've been giving this side a lot of attention. But this bar right here is blocking it. Much gratitude. I see you applying pressure to that like button. Again, part 2, muscle on top of muscle, y'all. So I'm gonna bring it like right here. I think we got one. Let's go. Yeah, I actually owe 6. That last set of push-ups, I did 17. This one, I did 17. So let's hit these 6 push-ups, y'all. That was nice. That was nice. So again, another push and pull. This is a push and pull, strictly push and pull. I mean, that's the workout I did earlier too. Basically, was a push and pull. So, I mean, that's what calisthenics is. I mean, you know, especially if you're doing a push and pull exercise, what else would it be? So, but we're just strictly doing the push-ups and pull-ups. So that's, you know, that's what it is, basically. Word. Hitting that back, hitting that chest. And I can feel it in my biceps when I go for that tall bar. Again, I want to show you how tall this bar is. All right? Come out here a little bit. Look at this whole setup. It's beautiful. Very, very unique design. You see? So what we're going to do is I'm going to come under this bar. Again, I'm going to hit the parallel bars this time. Let's get some pull-ups in. Let's go. That was 15. Let's get that 5. That was 15. It's nice. It's nice. Getting that back. It's nice. Appreciate you. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you in advance. Let's scroll up. Let's scale that bar again. Much gratitude. I see that pressure being applied to that like button. Shout out to my real ones. Shout out to those who are here for good reason. Let's go. Let's get it. Let me bring this in just a little closer. Give you that nice, good view. Another 15. 05.
Peace, God.
Peace, peace. I like them sounds you had going on too, you heard?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, classic shit.
Yes, sir. Putting that work in.
Indeed. Let's get it. We getting back on that ball, y'all. That count reduced on them push-ups is all good though. It's the part 2. Building muscle on top of muscle. With the body weight workouts, the calisthenics. But indeed we are. It's nice. Control. Get off that high bar. Straight up. It's the benefits of the summertime. Take advantage. You know, in the summertime, you come outside twice a day, multiple times a day. You know, after your workout, come out, get a walk, take a stroll, clear your mind, you know, things of that nature. You know, read a book. You know, while being very much on point. You know, you got to keep your head on a swivel out here. Wherever you at, it can go down anywhere. I'm just saying. Just saying. Let's get back on that ball. Excuse me. Yo, again, yo, big shout out to EQZ. 807. Word up. All right, so here we this is where we at with it, y'all. Let's hit these parallel bars. It's money. Not quite 20. Muscle on top of muscle, part 2. Thank you, bro. Always supporting. Like your nice soul and determined mind. Appreciate you as well. You know, shout out to EQZ. 807. Sure. You know what I mean? Great, you got great vibes as well. You know, I definitely picked up on it, you know? Word up. Definitely picked up on it. Let's get these push-ups. Let's get these push-ups while I got a little daylight in our favor. Let's go. Yeah. And we under the hour mark, y'all. Again, part 2. You know, just in addition to what was done earlier. If you know, you know. If you don't, it's all good. I ain't even got to emphasize that. Those who know, they know. But it's nothing. It's not what so many don't do. Or so many people do that. You know, get that twice a day, get that extra money or whatever, you know? But getting right back to it, it's a wonderful thing. You know, and I still see pressure being applied to that like button. I recognize, believe that. You know, much gratitude. Still under the hour mark. You know, so we you know, we were here. Again, different part of today's workout was just push and pull. You know, pull-ups, push-ups. You know, I hit dips earlier. I hit diamonds earlier. You know, so I just wanted to get some extra money. You know, I still had an appetite, you know. It be like that sometimes, you know. You gotta feed that desire. You gotta feed that appetite, that fitness hunger, you know? Let's get back on that ball, right? One more again. Let's go. Not sure if you was able to see that. It's dark out here now. You feed that desire because depending on how bad you want it, is how much work you're gonna put forth. You know, that's what I mean by that. You know, much gratitude. I see that like button being applied with great pressure. Appreciate you. Sure, part 2. Building muscle on top of muscle. And the way that's done, and again, that time under tension, multiple workouts, you know, short breaks in between your sets, adding weight, all right? Eating quality foods. You know, sometimes I tend to leave that out. You know, so you want to eat quality foods. You want to get that rest. I don't think I even mention those factors as much as I should, at least with the rest part. You know, get that rest. And I need to take my own advice because, and this is not a good thing that I do, but I'll get like 4 and 5 hours sleep. You know, I'd be so amped, I'd be so hyped, I'd be so just so excited to see the next day, which is not a bad thing, but I still need my rest. And sometimes it does catch up with me. And maybe I won't look, or I would look better if I got rest. You know what I'm saying? So that rest is very important. So, you know, building muscle on top of muscle is just not necessarily, you know, work ethic, you know? It's sleep. It's eating the right way, you know? So let's just really incorporate all those elements to really benefit from what it is that we do, what it is that we desire, and what it is that we want to become stronger each and every time we arrive to the park. Pardon me, something crazy just jumped on me. So again, you know, it's a gradual journey. That's my approach when it comes to this working out and all that. So you know, and I definitely I get so much on a daily basis, you know. Straight up. Yeah, it's dark. We was here till the sun went down, you heard? And we still under the hour mark, so that was beautiful. You know, again, you know, I wasn't satisfied from earlier, so I just wanted to come through. And that's a beautiful thing too, you know, having more in your tank, you know, having extra, you know. So maybe, you know, maybe I didn't do enough earlier. That could be a factor too. You know, I'm trying to get out the shadow of this tripod. So, yeah. But that was good though, you know what I mean? And again, I appreciate y'all. Much gratitude for those who apply pressure to that like button and your support, you know, and as always, you know, your participation, you know what I'm saying? I value your time. You could have been anywhere else, you know? I'm not the only one that do this, you know that. I mean, the internet is huge. So, you know what I mean? I just give you that recognition. You know, it's real like that. Straight up. What's up, family? What's good? We out here. Part 2. But yeah, let me get up out of here, y'all. I pushed it far enough. I still got to get up at 5:30 in the morning, and I know that I'm pushing it right now. So it is what it is. You know, sometimes that desire is that strong, you know? Peace to the true and living, indeed. It's a boomerang. Yeah, y'all, so, yo, I'm up out of here, you know what I'm saying? Much gratitude, I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to get to it again. You know what I mean? We're going to see what to do tomorrow, if I can help it. I'm not sure. You know what I mean? I may need to get some extra rest tomorrow, but I'll find out once I wake up and as my day goes along, you know? Only time will tell, you dig? Much gratitude. I see that pressure being applied to that like button again, and we still under the hour mark, you know? And yeah, so, and going forward too, I'm gonna kind of refrain from, yeah, 100. Good night to all. Thanks for good chat and workout. You already know. EQZ 807, big shout out to you. You definitely was in the building today as well as everybody else, you know what I'm saying? I'm not excluding, but I definitely recognize, you know, certain levels of participation. You know what I mean? I can't deny those who really show and prove, you know what I'm saying? Certain level of participation, you know? So, yeah. But I definitely, you know, I recognize all the support, you know? I'm gonna keep emphasizing that, you know, because you don't have to. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You really don't. But you made that conscious decision, and yeah, I recognize. Right. You're absolutely right. I agree with you. Catch you on the next go around.